Hello, my name is Janiah Taylor, and I'm a freshman pre-dental major at Hampton University. And today I will be sharing my research from the spring 2021 semester. To begin, hawk migration occurs primarily March through May for the spring season and August through mid-November for the fall season. And when hawks migrate, they attempt to be as efficient as possible with their migration, meaning that they're going to want to take the most efficient route under the most optimal weather conditions. And hawks also usually take advantage of rising thermal air currents, which means you'll see a large number of hawks migrating during a specific period of time to be able to fly in those conditions. And this is what has inspired my research question, which is, how is species richness affected by temperature during the fall hawk migrating season? And I hypothesize that temperature will affect hawk migration. To begin looking at my methods, I had to select a site, and the site that I selected was Chestnut Ridge. And I chose this site because they count during the fall. They have a variety of species there, 16 to be exact for the fall season, and they also have extensive weather details. As for data collection at the site, there are professional hawk tabulators, about 1 to 2 per day, that use cameras and clickers to identify and count every hawk that passes through, and they also record weather data hourly for about 7 to 8 hours per day. As for my data analysis, I used the data collected there at the site, and I conducted a correlational analysis as well as creating standard tables and graphs. Looking at my results, starting with figure 1, I graphed the species richness for birds of prey during the fall season, and as you can see in the mid-fall, there's a clear increase in species richness. Looking at table 1, which is the temperature averages, August has the highest temperature average at 21.8 degrees Celsius, and October has the lowest temperature average at 14.7 degrees Celsius. And then I also did a correlational analysis of average daily temperature and species richness. And here we can see that there is a positive relationship, but you can also see that the points here do not follow closely to that trend line. And I also got a p-value of 0.06. So from my data that I've graphed and calculated here, we can see in figure 2 that there's almost a significant relationship between species richness and average daily temperature. And we know this because the p-value, in order for the relationship to be significant, is 0.05. It has to be below 0.05. And the p-value that I got was 0.06, which is close, but not exact. This could have come from statistical error, so that's also when future research can come in. Somebody could also conduct research again here at this site with these same methods, or maybe at a different site and potentially come up with a different result there as well. But we can see that there is clearly an increase in species richness for the mid-fall, but that temperature alone might not be the direct cause for that increase. A research study conducted in 1992 in North Carolina actually found there that for the species there specifically, higher temperatures, absence of headwinds, and minimal fog correlated most among species richness. But again, that study is a bit dated, and there's always room to revisit research. And they also analyzed temperature along with other weather variables. They didn't analyze temperature independently. And so based on the research I have conducted, further research can of course explore if temperature alone is a factor in increase in species richness, and also how that might affect different species or species at different geological locations in the US or anywhere on the globe. Thank you so much for listening, and I would like to take a moment to say that my results would not have been possible without the help of the data collectors and tabulators at Chestnut Ridge, specifically Richard Arcel and Tate Johansson. And furthermore, the success of my research would not have been possible without the vast and detailed data set from hawkcount.org. And I would also like to thank Hampton University and the Department of Biological Sciences, specifically Professor Dash and Mr. Druitt, for supervising this research and helping me out along the way. And this poster is supported by the National Science Foundation grant, and all findings and opinions are those of my own and not necessarily of NSF or Hampton University. Thank you so much for listening.